Hey, I'm David Hines. I'm the head football coach at Harrison High School. I've been coaching football for 20 years now and been the head football coach at Harrison High School for the last 4 years.
So, Coach Hines, after last season, you said you started off at 1-4, and you finished 5-5. What are some key things that you want to work on from last season to improve for this season?
Well, I really think that our kids did a fantastic job of pulling together towards the middle and end of last year, and that really sent us off to the off season in a very good note. And our kids have worked extremely hard in the weight room here in the off season. And I think the enthusiasm of making the playoffs towards the end of the year and turning around a 1-4 season to go 4-1 down the stretch, I think that really has kind of propelled us into the offseason to really have some good things happen for us this year.
Okay. Give me an update. How do you change? You said you're changing your offense from an option to a more pass-oriented offense with Clay at the helm, Clay Chastain at the helm. What are some things that Clay has worked on for this upcoming season, changing from an option quarterback to a possession pass?
Well, obviously, we want to kind of tailor our offense to the personnel that we have, and so we're a multiple set formation and run a lot of zone and stuff like that out of the gun and from under center. But Clay gives us a new dynamic as far as being able to throw the ball. And he has worked extremely hard in the offseason with reading keys and reading the defenses, understanding coverages, and being able to find the open men and get the ball to him. And he's got unbelievable physical tools. It was the mental part of it, of reading the defenses and understanding the coverages and what the defense was trying to do to him, that he's become a lot better at in the offseason. And I really think it's going to help him be a fantastic quarterback his senior year.
Okay. Coach, if you can see any differences between this class and the classes you've coached before, what are some of the key differences? What makes this class different from the rest?
Well, I think we have some real good senior leadership as far as on our defensive side. We have a kid named Judd Haley, Will Siciliano, and then Tone Osigbovo coming back that started every game last year for us, 11 games last year, and they did a fantastic job. I think that leadership is going to help us coming forward. And then on the offensive side, having kids like C.J. Posey and Clay Chastain and some of the other guys that we have out there, I think those guys are really we've got a lot more leadership than we've had in the past. Last year, I think we struggled with that, and then it started to pick up towards the end of the season, and that's really why we took off. I mean, that was really our kids came together because of that leadership, and I think this year, I think we're going to be able to start much better because our kids have already taken that ownership and taken and run with it this year.
Well, I've looked at your first couple games for the next season. Have some little daunting tasks, but I know with hard work, I know you guys will be able to take care of it. What are some goals that you want to try to accomplish within the first couple of games of the season?
I think it's really imperative for us to get off to a good start. I think we need to come out and win the first 2 or 3 ball games, because it will, when you start out well, it really sets the tone for the rest of the season. It sets the tone. Then when you play some tougher games, which we do have down in the middle and later part of our schedule, our kids will be more mentally ready to go out and perform in those games. I think they'll be more confident. They'll feel better. So, if you get off to a slow start, then you're battling through that when you're playing good teams, and now that's a real struggle. So I think it'll be very important for us to get off to a good start at the beginning of the season with a couple of good victories. So.
Okay. As camp approaches and the school year approaches, what are some of the key things you've stressed to your players as far as the off season goes?
I think, as we finish up here the summer and move right into camp, the things that we need to do is continue to keep gelling together. We need to, to continue to keep finding depth. That's one thing that we've been really working on in the offseason, trying to find kids that can add depth to our roster, because our first team guys are pretty good, but we need to really build up our second team behind them in case we have injuries, because it's very rare you're going to be able to go through the season without any injuries, and so it's going to be important for kids to be able to step in when the time comes. That means your depth has got to be there. So if you don't have that, and that's really kind of what we've been working on, kids continuing to gel and come together, and then working on depth in all positions.
On to some recruiting notes. Coach, you as the head coach, how have you been helping your kids through the recruiting process, and what schools have been coming in looking at some of your players?
Well, at Harrison, we've had a tradition of having a lot of good kids go and play college football. So we're very fortunate in the fact that a lot of college coaches come through here. So during the spring, we had over 50 or 60 colleges come through, watching practice, visiting, getting information on players. And so the thing that we do for our kids is kind of twofold. First, we've got on our website, we have a highlight area on our website that our kids we can get up highlight film for them and get that out. The second thing that we do is that each coach that comes in here, we're able to provide, we put together a recruiting profile list. I give every coach that comes through that recruiting profile of each kid, gives them all of their pertinent information and gives them all that stuff, what level they're probably acclimated to play at, and then we have transcripts already printed off for all the coaches. So it's really a threefold process when they come in. They've got the information on the kids, they've got the transcripts on the kids and their grades and their schoolwork, and then the third part is having that highlight film. That's what you want to do to promote those kids at this point in time. And then we push our kids to go to camps, to go to the one-day combines, to do those things, because I think all in all, getting your name out there and being seen is really the name of the game this day and age.
Okay. All right. Well, Coach, thank you for taking out your time in the summer and to sit down with GA Metro Preps. We will be looking at you throughout the season. Hopefully we can get some of your players to come back in February when they sign their letter of intent, and we'll follow up with you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thanks a bunch. I appreciate it.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.